We are continuing our conversation from last week about retirement funds and, of course, how you can move those directly with IRAs and rollovers and how that can directly impact people and, of course, the retirement fund. So last week we talked about rollovers just in general, how they work and how people can use them to their benefit. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty part of the rollovers, right. More detailed part. So no rollovers of required minimum distributions. Explain that to me.
Correct. You cannot do a rollover, which a lot of people like to do because they really don't want to receive the required minimum distribution because it is taxable. That's the way the IRS works. They allow you your retirement funds to grow tax deferred up until age 70 and a half, and that is supposedly being moved to age 72 under the Secure Act, but they will not allow you to roll over funds, aka your required minimum distributions, into another vehicle. It's just not allowed, because there is a difference, and we went into this just a little bit last week,
right,
between the type of funds, FIFO and LIFO. And I know this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to the viewing audience, but we can explain it. But FIFO is first in, first out.
Okay.
The type of funds. LIFO is last in, first out.
Okay.
And the IRS differentiates these two types of funds. So you cannot do certain things with a rollover, whereas you can do it and you can avoid all of these rules, essentially, if you transfer funds as opposed to rolling them over.
Oh, interesting. And is there an age? I know sometimes someone's age has something to do with it as well, right?
In regards to required minimum distributions, the age limitation when you have to start taking required minimum distributions is age 70 and a half.
Okay.
As I said, the Secure Act right now is proposing moving that to age 72, giving people a longer time to save for retirement, but it's not in stone as yet.
Okay, wonderful. And then let's talk about some of the other rollover pitfalls as well.
Okay. An all too common mistake is involving a non-spouse beneficiary.
Okay.
A spousal beneficiary for an IRA, qualified funds, that type of thing, 401k rollover. A spouse gets a different treatment.
Okay.
A spouse can continue a contract of an IRA, 401k, that type of thing. A transfer, again, you can disregard everything if you transfer funds.
Okay.
But a non-spousal beneficiary has certain steps that they have to take, and you've got to walk lockstep through them. You cannot violate anything because of the non-beneficiary designation for a distribution. The rules require that if property is distributed through an IRA, and a lot of individuals have property, a lake house or a mountain house or something like that, in an IRA, you cannot sell the property and move the cash.
Use it as a substitute.
You can't do it.
Right, okay, so interesting. So really kind of the baseline is try to avoid rollovers if you can, right?
Exactly. And as you can see, rollovers, transfers, that type of thing, they're very, very complicated. The penalties, if you mess it up, are harsh.
Right.
50% penalty could be on a big chunk of change.
Right. The benefits do not outweigh what could happen, the mistakes that could happen.
Exactly.
So what is the best strategy, just as quick as you can tell us?
Come and see us, call us. The initial consultation, there's no charge for. Come see us and we can help you. And we outline all of these 6 facts.
Right.
And I have been trained under Ed Slott, the CPA, and the manual just pertaining to IRAs is about that thick.
Yeah, and you guys can come up with a concrete plan on how to do this and how it can be beneficial for you.
Exactly.
Davis Garrison III with Preservation Financial Group, thanks again for coming and joining us.
Thanks as always.
Yes, of course, Preservation Financial Group off of Sunset Drive in Johnson City. Give them a call or check them out online, preservationfinancialgroup.net.